So, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time now. This video has been coming. Wrestlemania 30. I've been waiting. Actually, since 2007 for this match to happen in WrestleMania. The only reason I thought it was going to happen at WrestleMania 23 is when Undertaker won the Royal Rumble and challenged for either the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, and it was kind of funny, the ECW Championship. And John Cena was the WWE Champion at the time. Batista was the World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and Bobby Lashley was the ECW Champion at the time that no one cared about. So, if you eliminate all the things, you're going to think, man, John Cena going up against the Undertaker. One-on-one, streak versus title. I'm like, man, this feud is going to be insane. But he picked Batista. And then I thought, oh man, why is my scalp itching me? I don't know. Maybe I have lice. Nah, just joking. Probably do though. Probably don't. Don't. Anyways, I thought, man, Cena versus Taker. It's gonna happen at WrestleMania 23. Didn't happen. Batista versus Taker happened. But that was a tremendous feud that they had in 2007. I believe they had 4 pay-per-view matches, and Batista was the winner of the entire feud, which he won at Hell in a Cell at Survivor Series 2007. So, 2008 came around. 2007, John Cena got injured. Undertaker was in a feud with Edge at the end of the year, so at that WrestleMania, I'm like, okay, Undertaker and Cena's not going to happen. 2009 came. Cena was champion. Cena was champion. Undertaker didn't have any program or anything with anyone. I'm like, man, this is going to be the year. Taker for Cena, World Heavyweight Championship. Here we go. Taker ended up facing Michaels. Cena ended up going into a triple threat match. They split ways. Taker and Shawn Michaels had that epic feud. Cena had the World Heavyweight Championship match that was followed that Taker match, which it was impossible to follow that 5-star classic that they had in Houston at WrestleMania 25, which should have been the main event. So, throughout the year, they were hinting Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels 2, which I'm like, nah, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't take place unless there's something more towards it, like for a title or something. And I'm like, this is gonna be the year. Cena versus Taker. Here we go. Nope. Shawn Michaels puts up his career on the line against Undertaker. Cena faces Batista. Those two storylines go a separate way. 27 comes around, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be the year. John Cena versus Undertaker, because Miz was champion at the time. Cena wasn't in the feud. Taker wasn't in the feud. He was to come back. It's like, man, Cena Taker. Here we go. WrestleMania. Nope. Taker can come back. Cena wins the title of the Chamber. Who was the Royal Rumble winner? No, wait, what are you talking about? Cena won the right to face the champion at Elimination Chamber, right? Is that right? Yeah, he won the #1 contendership at the Chamber, and then Taker come back the next night, I believe, and Triple H comes out and challenges the Undertaker for WrestleMania 27. Alright, separates again. WrestleMania 28 now. The day after WrestleMania 27, though, Triple H cut that promo. He cut that promo on the Taker. And as soon as he got that promo, we knew Triple H, Undertaker 2. By the way, #1 was a classic. You thought that streak was going to end with that tombstone. Everyone thought that streak was going to end with that tombstone. I don't care what. If you didn't believe that streak, you should stop watching wrestling, because there was nothing that will ever get you as much as that tombstone Triple H did to Undertaker. Anyways, 28. Rock came back. Rock Cena was announced. Triple H Undertaker was pretty much set in stone the day after WrestleMania 27. So, bam, split again. Triple H and Undertaker steal the show, having one of the greatest matches in wrestling history in that cell. Man, that is an amazing match. Cena Rock have an epic match themselves. Not as epic as the Hell in a Cell, though. So, alright, WrestleMania 29. Rock beats Cena and wants to challenge for the WWE Championship. So, what do you think is going to happen? I thought it was going to be Brock Lesnar versus The Rock for the WWE Championship, because Brock Lesnar debuted the night after, And Undertaker versus John Cena, WrestleMania 29. That wasn't the case. We got twice in a life. The only reason I thought that was because the tagline was once in a lifetime. That's the only reason I thought there wasn't going to be a rematch. Here we go, WrestleMania 29. Undertaker's on a feud. He has to face Cena at WrestleMania 29. And Brock will face Rock at WrestleMania 29. It'll be one of the biggest WrestleManias because it is in their New York market because they're coming home. That was not the case. Brock Lesnar feud with Triple H. Cena versus Rock happens twice in a lifetime. Undertaker has no opponent, so CM Punk just lost the title after 434-day reign. So Taker versus Punk. Now we're at a standstill. We are in November. Taker is out. He can come back whenever he wants to challenge whoever he wants. Cena's in the world title picture. He can drop that title whenever he wants. Taker can come in and cost him the title. It doesn't matter. Right now, they're saying they want Taker versus Lesnar. Personally, that match should not happen yet. Or at all anymore. Because Lesnar lost to Cena in his first match. Lesnar lost to Triple H at last year's WrestleMania. How does he have a chance to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30? Doesn't make sense. Second, Cena doesn't need to be in the title picture for WrestleMania. He's already a 14-time world champion. He doesn't need to hold that title. He just needs to drop the title by Rumble. And then he could cruise on or drop the title at Chamber. Bam. Taker versus Cena the night after on Raw. WrestleMania 30. This is one of the biggest WrestleManias. It's going to be one of the biggest WrestleManias ever. I don't care what anyone says. WrestleMania 30 will be, it's 30. 10 was big. First was obviously the biggest because it's WrestleMania 1. 10 was bait with that epic ladder match and Bret winning the title against Yoko. 20 was that epic moment when Undertaker did return that night. And Eddie retained the title and Benoit won the title with an epic moment that you'll never see again. So 30 has to have one trifecta moment. Taker, one of the biggest stars ever in wrestling. You name 5 of the biggest stars: Hogan, Rock, Austin, there's Undertaker, and that 5th name's John Cena right there. That is the 5. That's my 5 biggest wrestling names ever in wrestling history, because Hogan, obviously, Austin, obviously, Rock, obviously, Taker for the longevity. He's been there since day 1. He feuded with all these guys. Feuded with Hogan. He was there when he faced Hogan. He was there to put over Rock. He didn't really have a feud with Rock that much, but he was there to put over Austin at SummerSlam '98, and that whole 1998 feud was Undertaker, Stone Cold, even going into 1999, 2 of the biggest years of wrestling history to make WWF get the lead in the Monday Night Wars. Taker is one of the biggest. I don't care what anyone says. Hogan, Taker, Rock, Austin, and Cena now. Since 2005 to now. 8 years of being the guy. How do you not put the Phenom versus the Icon? The Legend versus the Man. Undertaker, John Cena. It is a match made, ready to go, and when obviously the most believable person right now to beat the streak is John Cena. He's done it all. He's beat Rock. He's won the title 14 times, 11-time WWE champion, 3-time World Heavyweight champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, tying Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels. And no, that's it. Is that it? I think so. Headline countless WrestleManias. Pretty much done it all. He doesn't need to be in a title feud at WrestleMania. If he doesn't face, and you also think, if he doesn't face The Undertaker, who is he going to face at WrestleMania? There's not really any guys. He's going to elevate someone. Doesn't really make much sense for me. I don't know. I'm this one the way I'm thinking. Why not put on this big main event money match? Undertaker, John Cena, WrestleMania 30. It's a match ready to go. And if Brock Lesnar could face whoever, he could face Ryback and kill him. He could face Mark Henry. He could face Big Show. He could face, I don't know. Go ahead and face Triple H again for the 4th time. He could face Bryan. He could face someone. Or if Rock decides to come back, he could face Brock versus Rock. Triple H should be facing Bryan at WrestleMania. These are my matches that make sense in my head. And Punk should be facing, God, I don't know. Punk's not. If Bryan's not facing Triple H, it should be Bryan versus Punk. But John Cena, The Undertaker. This is like a match ready to happen. And then when Undertaker goes, he could beat John Cena and go 22-0. So that's pretty much why I think Undertaker should face John Cena. It's just a match ready to happen, match made in heaven, match made in hell. That close off the show. The match doesn't even have to be great. It's just like the match I think will be amazing, just because not even the wrestling quality. It's just that feel that them two are finally colliding. They haven't had a feud. They haven't faced each other since 2003 when they had that feud. So that would be 11 years prior. The only interaction they ever had since then that I remember is 2007 on Monday Night Raw. I believe it was like Raw, SmackDown invades Raw, so they had Raw and SmackDown Superstars. I don't know if it was a draft or something. I can't remember what. It was a 3-hour show. It was a 3-hour special. And the main event they said was John Cena, WWE Champion, going against, I believe Undertaker was the World Heavyweight Champion at the time. I could be wrong on that. But it was Undertaker, John Cena. I was like, man, I was ready. I stayed up, watched that match, and ended in an utter brawl. And I was like, man, I got robbed. And now I gotta wait for this till another time. 2009, they tag team. It was John Cena and The Undertaker going up against DX, going up against Jericho in a 3-way match. It was an MSG 2009, the Go Home Show Survivor Series. Taker and Cena win that match. Undertaker gets Cena, hits the Tombstone Pile Driver, gets the title, poses with it, with the little, with the pose, with the tongue and the thing, that thing. Ends the show. I'm like, man, that match is coming, but it was not meant to be. That's what I thought. The workings of that Undertaker vs Cena match was gonna happen in 2009, going into WrestleMania 26, but obviously Shawn Michaels thing that happened. When he hit that tombstone on Cena, I'm like, all right, here we go. This is what's gonna lead us to WrestleMania 26. Undertaker vs John Cena. That was not the case. But for the way they should do this, Undertaker should make Cena lose the title some way, shape, or form. Undertaker versus John Cena, WrestleMania 30. Match could be 1 minute long. All I want to see is a tombstone. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 22-0. I'll be the happiest person ever. But I've been waiting for this match for 6 years now, and 30 is like the monumental big moment where I think they should have this Undertaker, John Cena one-on-one collision. The thing that boggles my mind still is how has WWE not put these two guys in a program together? This is like a money-making program right here. This is what you want buys. This is buys. Like you thought Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels was buys. You thought Undertaker versus Triple H Hell in a Cell was buys. No, Undertaker John Cena one-on-one. Doesn't even have to be no holds barred. Just a singles match. Just to have these two like legends, Phenom versus the Icon. Just make this happen. This is I can't fathom. I can't explain the feeling that when I tell people this match, when they say that you're crazy, because every time I say that Undertaker versus Cena, they think Cena's gonna beat the streak. No, Cena's not beating the streak. He's gonna lose, but he's gonna look out coming like the friggin' man when he comes out of that match. It's like, man, Undertaker Cena WrestleMania 30 has to happen. So thank you for watching my little ramble, rant a bit, my thoughts, just my feelings toward Undertaker, John Cena, WrestleMania 30, the main event, 22-0. Let's go. Bam.